At first glance, white rice and brown rice seem like a very simple comparison. One is white, one is brown. And over time, that difference in color has quietly turned into a difference in reputation too. One is often treated as the healthier choice. The other is treated as the more ordinary one. But is the story really that simple? This topic was suggested by viewer at Andrella Furnace 4478. So thank you for the great prompt. Because once you look a little closer, the real difference between these two may have less to do with color and more to do with what was taken away from the grain before it ever reached the bowl. So other than color, what actually separates them? Is brown rice truly healthier and really worth replacing white rice for? Or is this one of those food upgrades that sounds bigger than it actually is? To answer that, we have to start with the grain itself. Let's get into it right here on Secrets of Simple Things. Two versions of the same grain. This story is not only about which rice is better. White rice and brown rice are not two completely different foods. They are two versions of the same grain. One keeps more of its natural layers. The other has been processed into something softer, whiter, and easier to eat. And once you see it that way, the real difference starts much earlier than the bowl. It starts inside the grain itself. What a grain of rice contains. A grain of rice is not just the white part we notice in a bowl. It begins as a layered seed. On the outside is the hull, the protective shell that is removed before the rice is eaten. Under that is the bran, then the germ, and then the endosperm, the starchy inner part that makes up most of what people think of as rice. Once you see that structure, the difference between brown rice and white rice becomes much easier to understand. Brown rice is what you get when the outer hull is removed, but the bran, the germ, and the endosperm are still there. White rice goes further. It loses not only the hull, but also most of the bran and the germ, leaving mainly the endosperm behind. That is why these two do not begin as two different grains at all. They are the same grain, separated only by how much of it was kept, and that is where their two different personalities begin. One remains closer to the grain's original form. The other becomes a more stripped-down version of it. What changes when the outer layers are gone? Once the bran and germ are removed, white rice becomes a different kind of eating experience. It turns softer, milder, and more familiar on the tongue. It cooks faster, feels lighter, and asks less of the person eating it. That is part of why it became so widely loved in the first place. It is easy to prepare, easy to chew, and easy to pair with almost anything. Brown rice moves in a different direction. Because it keeps more of the grain intact, it stays firmer and chewier. Its flavor feels more grounded, more nutty, and more distinctly grain-like. It can seem rougher, less polished, and sometimes less immediately comforting, but also closer to what the grain was before it was refined further. So the difference is not that one became real while the other became fake. It is simply that each one reflects a different degree of processing. White rice feels more finished. Brown rice feels more preserved. Neither description is a moral judgment. They are just two different outcomes from the same grain. And that difference in what was kept and what was removed does not stop at texture. It continues into nutrition too. What changes nutritionally when those layers are removed? Once the bran and germ are taken away, the difference is no longer just about texture or taste. It becomes nutritional too. White rice loses most of its fiber because fiber lives largely in the outer parts of the grain. It also loses part of the vitamins, minerals, and other natural compounds that were sitting in those layers from the beginning. Brown rice keeps more of them, which is why, on paper, it usually looks denser and more complete. It has more fiber, more micronutrients, and more of the grain's original natural content still attached. And this is the part worth slowing down for. White rice does not become a completely different food because something special was added to it. It becomes different mainly because something important was taken away. If the bran and germ were still there, many of the advantages people now associate with brown rice would still be sitting inside that same grain because they were there from the start. The gap between brown rice and white rice is not really the story of one grain becoming better. It is the story of one grain becoming more stripped down. In other words, brown rice does not look richer because it gained something extra. It looks richer because it lost less. That sounds like a clear win for brown rice. But health is where this story becomes less clean than it first appears. Is brown rice actually healthier? This is where brown rice begins to look stronger, but not simpler. Its clearest advantage is how it behaves in the body. Because the bran and germ are still there, brown rice tends to digest more slowly, so blood sugar usually rises less sharply than it does with white rice. That is why it makes more sense for people who eat rice often, especially those who already need to think more carefully about blood sugar or diabetes risk. But this is also where the easy story starts to blur. Brown rice contains phytate, or phytic acid. That matters because phytate can bind to certain minerals and make them harder to absorb. So even if brown rice looks richer on paper, the body does not always receive every part of that richness easily. More nutrition does not automatically mean more usable nutrition. Then there is arsenic, which people mention far less often. Because brown rice keeps more of the grain's outer layers, it can also hold more arsenic there. And that matters because arsenic is not just an invisible trace. In high amounts over time, it can act more like a quiet burden on the body. It can interfere with important cellular processes, increase oxidative stress, and become part of a larger risk picture around long-term health. So the same layers that make brown rice feel more complete can also make the story less perfect. That still does not make white rice the winner. It simply means brown rice is not a flawless upgrade. What matters more is how much rice you eat, how often you eat it, what the rest of the meal looks like, and who is eating it. If rice is something a person eats every day, maybe even more than once a day, then brown rice becomes more worth considering. But if someone is generally healthy and eats rice as part of a varied diet, the gap is usually not so dramatic that one deserves to be called healthy and the other bad. Brown rice has real advantages. It is just not a miracle food. And white rice has real limitations. It is just not automatically a wrong one. If white rice had not lost the bran in the first place, many of the benefits now credited to brown rice would have been there from the start. So the next question is not how to turn white rice into something else. It is how to make it work better as it is. How to make white rice work more like brown rice. If you still prefer white rice, the most useful takeaway is not that you need to replace it overnight. It is that you can bring the meal closer to some of the benefits people usually look for in brown rice. One simple way is to stop letting white rice stand alone. You can mix it with black beans, red beans, oats, or other whole grains and seeds, so the bowl gains more fiber, feels more filling, and moves through the body a little more slowly. In other words, you are not changing the rice itself so much as changing the rhythm of the meal around it. You can do the same thing by cooking it with vegetables or eating it alongside them, so the plate does not lean entirely on starch. Even soaking the rice before cooking can become a meaningful step because it turns the grain into something prepared with intention, not just something poured into a pot. And then there are the quieter habits that matter just as much. Eat it with greens, chew it more slowly, and do not let one meal become more rice than the rest of the plate. Sometimes the smartest way to change white rice is not to replace it completely but to change what happens around it. And that may be the most honest answer this whole comparison can give us. What the grain remembers. The next time you look at a bowl of white rice or a bowl of brown rice, the thing to remember is not just the color. It is the story of what each grain still carries and what has already been taken away. One keeps more of itself, which is why it looks denser on paper, feels firmer in the mouth, and moves more slowly through the body. The other has been stripped down further, which is why it becomes softer, whiter, easier to eat, and more familiar to so many people. And that is what this whole debate was really built on. Not two completely different foods, not one hero and one villain, just one grain, changed in two different ways, and then asked to mean more than it should. In the end, brown rice and white rice are not just two colors on a plate. They are two versions of the same grain, shaped by what stayed and what was taken away. So what about you? Did brown rice always seem like the clear upgrade, or does this comparison feel less simple now? Share your thoughts below. And if you like videos that take familiar things and look at them a little more closely, subscribe and leave a subject you want to see in a future episode.